From the East and the West, you've heard others, but now you've tuned into the best. This is a Prime Wave Media production.
What's up, world? It's the one and only Pop DBICD Primetime Capper, and it is time for the premier sports betting show, the Primetime Angle is live, and I'm feeling good. I'm feeling great. It is Friday, and we do this thing Monday through Friday, so pretty much, it's the end of the week for us, so it is what it is. But you guys have to understand, horsing around is already just picking up, getting started. We did horsing around yesterday, was able to get the opener as the winner for the key horse. Today, we're going to be doing the show a little bit later for the 4 o'clock start over at Where the Surf Meets the Turf. But let's go ahead and jump into this, man. We got so much going on in the world of sports right now. And up first, let's go ahead and talk about Hall of Fame weekend. As you can see, some of the biggest is the biggest ever, in my opinion. You got two classes that they're honoring at the same time, 2020 and 2021. So many legends from the late 90s, early 2000s. These guys were Madden legends as well, too. So them getting into the Hall of Fame is just kind of, something that we have all been waiting for. But these guys were incredible. The John Lynches of the world, Charles Woodson, Alan Faneca, just to name a few. And then, you got the old school guys finally getting their chance to get into the Hall of Fame as well, too. So this is a beautiful moment. This is a beautiful time for everybody who's involved in this situation as well, too, when it comes down to the Hall of Fame. Now, as you guys can know, the Hall of Fame just makes me feel much older and older every year they start inducting guys, because as you can see, Charles Johnson was actually a guy who was like in college, like when I was in college, and, pretty much went to the NFL, and he made a great career for himself and winds up in the Hall of Fame on the first ballot as well, too. I think there's a little controversy in that as well, too. I think he was really great for a highlight reel, but I don't think that he was a first ballot Hall of Famer, because, there was a lot of down years over there in Detroit, and, a lot of great guys who won Super Bowls, played in Super Bowls, had to wait almost a decade to get into the Hall of Fame because their numbers didn't look exactly the same. But all in all, congratulations to him. But the biggest star of them all this weekend is going to have to be Peyton Manning. Peyton Manning, we all knew that Peyton Manning could have just walked into the Hall of Fame as soon as he said he was retiring. But, you got to wait 5 years, and he waited 5 years, and now he's in the Hall of Fame, and he's going to be the star of stars. We know that he's probably going to be presented last and everything like that, and he's going to have some good stories, some good jokes and things like that. But I think he paves the way for maybe his brother getting into the Hall of Fame in a few years now. Maybe Eli may have to wait a year or so, but Eli should be getting in there as well, too. So it's pretty fun to see that everything that the Arch put together for his sons is coming together. His older son never made it to the NFL, so I know that the two that did make it to the NFL are going to share pretty much everything with him. And then they have their nephew as well, too, on the way. So, it's going to be a proud moment for the Manning family, because they really did cash that check, because there was a lot of skeptics about Peyton, but Peyton was showing that he was a once-in-a-generation talent, and he absolutely was one of the best to do it, if not the best to do it, at the quarterback position. So this is fun to watch. This is fun to take part of, and it's going to be a great weekend. Also, Troy Polamalu as well, too, getting into the Hall of Fame. We talked about that on Mike's show yesterday. That's going to be incredible as well, too. So this is just a fun Hall of Fame weekend. I'm going to sit down and watch and hear the speeches and everything like that, and hopefully it will wind up being a pretty fun weekend. And once again, so happy for the great Tom Flores, first Hispanic head coach to ever be inducted into the Hall of Fame, and he is, 3 times he's a winner. And it's long overdue as well, too. There's coaches that did less that are getting in as well, too. And then, I just can keep going on and on and on and on. But that's how deep of a group it is. But one last person that it means a lot to me that he's getting in, because he's a guy that was the staple of helping football really cross over to the mainstream, especially on Fox, and that's Jimmy Johnson, man. Jimmy Johnson, much props to Jimmy. Jimmy is going to be celebrated. I know that everybody's going to be talking about him and Jerry left and right, but you know what? At the end of the day, it's all about what's going on for Jimmy Johnson this weekend. It's all about Jimmy this weekend, and he can do whatever he wants. He doesn't have to praise anybody. He can just go ahead and say, hey, I did it. I'm here, and this is what we do. All right. So pretty much we have a new head coach over here at Texas. Can Texas get back to the elite status with their new head coach and their fourth since Mack Brown retired a decade ago? To me, this team has everything in place to be a really good team this year. But they got to stop thinking just because they're Texas that they're going to be able to beat everybody as well, too. That's the whole thing. They've been dropping their first game of the season for the last 5 years, and that's not a good start to the year. They lost twice to Maryland, to be exact, over the last few years, and that's a team that they should not lose to because that's a Big Ten bottom feeder. So pretty much at the end of the day, this team has to make some improvements. They have to make some moves. They have to make things look much, much better than they have over the last few years. They got a good quarterback in place as well, too. They got a good returning staff as well. And as you can see, I know this is Mr. Sarkisian, so hopefully he can keep it all together. Unlike he did over at USC, he can get back to how he was over at Washington. Now, Texas is a different beast because Texas is where they expect things. And the expectation this year is to win the Big 12 title or at least compete for it in the title game and get yourself into the Final Four as well, too, which Texas can do with an undefeated season if everything works out right for them as well. So pretty much when you look at everything, when you look at the writing on the wall, this is do or die time for Texas. And I know they're going to let Sarkisian build this team up, but they're looking for instant results when they go after a Steve Sarkisian. So at the end of the day, we're going to see how everything works out. We're going to see how everything rolls, but this should be the moment that Texas gets to get back their team because now they know exactly where their future is going to be, and that's going to be in the SEC. So what do they have to do now in the Big 12 is dominate because they got eight angry family members that are not too happy about them leaving right now. So we're going to see how it goes. We're going to see how it shakes out. But Texas, can they get back to elite status? And it's all based on the consistency of their head coach. So there it is, and there it is. All right, let's go ahead and jump into the NFL. We got the Miami Dolphins. Finished 10-6 last season. I know that it's a little bold to think that, okay, they got this what you got, guy? They have Tua here, and Tua was overhyped. You know, a lot of people thought Tua was going to come in and turn water into wine, part the Red Sea, do a whole lot of things. But at the end of the day, the thing is, Tua still needed another year at Alabama, regardless of what anybody felt and how they went about things. But we know why he rushed this thing, because the hip was already hurt. And you know what? That's one of the more debilitating injuries. It's something that you're never going to really come back from. But you can have some good years thrown in between, in my opinion, when it comes down to this situation. I know that there's been other players that have been able to continue their career and be really good, but that's a different situation. This guy is a quarterback. So that injury is going to follow him until pretty much forever. So at the end of the day, they only have so much time with Tua. And now I know that they did bring a decent backup this year as well, too. They do lose Fitzpatrick, who was a good safety valve as well, too. And I think this team would have been able to make the playoffs last year if they would have kept Ryan Fitzpatrick as the starter throughout this whole season, because he's the guy that got them to where they needed to be to actually compete for a playoff spot. And I felt like that was a little bit of a oversight by their head coach, but that was coach's mistake at the end of the day. You know what I mean? He's still a young coach, and you know what? He does have people to appease, and I know that was a front office move when it comes down to it. So you know what? Sometimes the front office can be the reason why your team is going to be in a bad position, you know, at the end of the season when they're trying to advance and things as well, too. So you know what? At the end of the day, you know, you learn lessons and you move forward with it. Miami already having issues on the defensive end. Their best player is their best defensive player, cornerback Xavier Howard, is barking for money right now. and they're not really heeding his request right now. They're just kind of sticking around, hoping that he'll just come and play because he doesn't want to get fined too much money at the end of the day. And pretty much this is what it is. They're gonna try to make sure that everybody is one united. And I don't think that he's going to get paid right away. But I think that the Dolphins are still trying to work some type of deal out so they can get some assets down the road via draft and probably go ahead and get themselves another defensive player that might be a bit disgruntled. But they could make a deal with the Steelers right now. The Steelers have a wide receiver that's kind of disgruntled about his playing time as well too. Maybe they can make a fair swap there. But we all know that that's something that Miami already got kind of dug out for before when they got let go of Minka Fitzpatrick and let him go to the Steelers. So I don't know if they'll be doing anything like that again with them being a much better team now. So with that, the Miami Dolphins looking good coming into the year. They will challenge the Buffalo Bills for the East title this year. Don't get it twisted at all. So pretty much with that, we will be right back with the premier sports betting show, the Primetime Angles Live. And once again, you guys, man, it's Friday. Let's keep having some fun. But you guys, when I get back, we'll have Blue Crew Daily and we will have the MLB preview for you as well, too. So I'll see you when we get back.
Good News Only Racing Club, led by the legendary Doug O'Neill, the trainer of 2 Kentucky Derby winners and I'll Have Another and Nyquist. Also trained 2-time Breeders' Cup champ Golden Sense, who are just a part of a long list of thoroughbred champions trained by Doug O'Neill. The Good News Only Racing Club has a young core of horses to look out for in Dennis's Celery, Irish Heatwave, and Notre Dame, just to name a few. Win the day every day with the Good News Only Racing Club, a proud sponsor of the NFL Bet Exchange.
From the East and the West, you've heard others, but now you've tuned into the best. This is a Prime Wave Media production.
Tune into Big Wave Boxing every week with a brand new guest with the one and only Pop DiBiase, the Primetime Capper, getting the best boxing stories, best boxing angles, and the truth when it all comes down to the sweet science. Tune into Big Wave Boxing on the Prime Wave Media channel on YouTube. All right, we are back, and let's go ahead and jump into Blue Crew Daily, which is always fun. The Dodgers start their Freeway Series with the Angels in Anaheim, and this is always a dangerous situation for the Dodgers as well, too. Don't get it twisted. The Dodgers are going to have to bring their A game. Actually, the game is going to be at the Ravine today. I'm so sorry. But still, the Dodgers need to bring their A game. David Price has been struggling. He's 4-1 on the season, but he's been struggling the last few games as well, too. He did give up 4 runs last time out. He gave up 3 prior to that to Colorado. So pretty much over the last 3 games, he's given up 8 runs over 13 innings. And then he's also, he hasn't been striking out guys as much as you would want him to. And he's given up 5 walks in the process as well, too. So he's going to have to really, really buckle down a little bit here and make sure that he gets his whole situation together real quick for the Blue Crew. So pretty much that's going to be something that we all will look at and hope that everything works out very well for the Dodgers. So pretty much we're going to take another quick commercial break, and I'll be right back to you.
The Viget app, where social media meets sports betting. Get the latest line movements in all major sports. Track your daily bets, daily contests, the NFL over-under contest that pays out $10K in cash prizes. This is a cutting-edge app that helps betting be easy. Sign up with the reference code POPDBIC and you will be able to watch my daily show, The Primetime Angles, as a resource to building that bankroll. Viget is available in your Apple or Google Store on your iOS or Android. The social sports betting app, Viget.
From the East and the West, you've heard others, but now you've tuned into the best. This is a Prime Wave Media production.
All right, we are back with the show, and here we are. We got the Rays and the Orioles going at it today. The Rays and Orioles is a funny situation here. These two teams have been going at it a lot this year, because they're in the same division and everything like that. But it seems like the Orioles figure out ways to kind of muck things up a little bit for the Rays. So pretty much you got the Rays who are in front in their division, looking real good, but still, they're not one of the better hitting teams in the league right now. They are scoring a lot of runs and hitting a lot of home runs, but they're not hitting well for average. Actually, Baltimore is a bit better for hitting for average here. So, that's something that you kind of got to look at. But the pitching has been so good for the Rays this year. So we're going to see how it goes tonight. You got John Means on the mound, a guy who threw a no-hitter. And I know a lot of people don't remember that because, the Orioles aren't that good. But you got Ryan Yarbrough, who's been very inconsistent. He gave 5 runs last time out over 5 innings. So pretty much that's something that you do have to look at. He did not lose the game. There was no decision there. But prior to that, when he was on the road against Cleveland, he did very, very well, striking out 6 over 7 innings and only giving up 5 hits in 1 run at that time. But before that, last time we seen Baltimore, and this was at home, Baltimore lit him up for 6 runs over 5 innings and found themselves getting a good win over Yarbrough. So we'll see how it goes, see how it shakes out. John Means is really good last time out against the Tigers, but the last home game he did get rocked a little by the Nats, but it wasn't enough. They still won the game. There was only 4 runs given up, but he didn't do too well against Tampa Bay at Tampa Bay last time. They seen them as well too. So this is something that you do have to put together and put in the cord. But I think that this game will wind up being more of a scoreboard watching game than anything. And I think that maybe everybody might go ahead and overplay the over here. So that's why I think that this game could go under as well too. So we'll see how it goes, but I do have this game in the primetime pick 6, and I'll reveal exactly where I'm going with that in a moment. All right, so we move on to the Mets and the Phillies. This is the biggest matchup of the weekend. We have 2 teams vying for who's going to be in first place at the end of the weekend. You have the Phillies, who are a half a game back now after winning 5 games in a row, including a sweep of the Nats to start this month off. So they're red hot coming into August. And then you have Marcus Strowman, who's 7-10 on the year, 2.80 ERA. He only gave 4 runs his last time out, but he didn't get any run support that day, so he wound up losing that game against Cincinnati. Game prior to that, same exact result. Great day pitching. He did give up a lot of hits, but he was able to keep things in control run-wise and winds up still losing that game. And then the game prior to that, he didn't give up any runs, went to 8 innings, and his team let him down with that one. So, Strowman's just been going through some bad run support, and now Kyle Gibson makes his debut tonight. I think Kyle Gibson might be one of the best additions to any team because he was playing on such a bad team but pitching so well. And I think the Dodgers really missed out on getting the who I felt was the most consistent pitcher, even though they got the biggest name in Max Scherzer. I would have much preferred them to go after Kyle Gibson than to go get a guy like Dan Duffy, who's a little over the hill at this point of his career. But he could be revitalized by being a Dodger now as well, too. But Kyle Gibson's been absolutely automatic. He did very well his last time out, 5 strikeouts over 6 innings. So, he's feeling good, feeling great. This was against Pittsburgh as well, too. And so, you know what? I think that he'll be able to make the transition and make a very good transition over here to the National League and help the Phillies try to cement that NL East pennant, because right now they have the Mets right where they want them at. And I think that this is going to wind up being one of our better series of the weekend. And this should have a lot of action to it. But people have to understand these guys are playing for the pennant. This starts here. I know that, it's still early in the game, but this is where the fun really starts at right now. We're in August. We got about 60 days left in the season to be exact. So it's time to start making your move right now. And the Phillies are absolutely doing that. So right now, I see it as a deadlock 110-110. So pretty much the line movement is moving. So, a lot of people are into this game today and they can't pick a side. So it should be good. It should be fun. Let's see how it goes. Let's see how it shakes out. We move on from there. We have another divisional rival game, a division rivalry going on as well, too, between the Blue Jays and the Red Sox. You got Evaldi on the mound for the Red Sox, and you got Manoah, the new the flavor of the week for the Blue Jays. Blue Jays lead the league in home runs with 164. Boston is ninth, so you can't expect some fireworks over at Skydome. And then you have the runs where, hey, the Blue Jays lead in that category as well, too, and batting average as well, too. Blue Jays are number one in that. And then you got the runs, they're third in that. So when it comes to hitting, this Blue Jays team is something else. You got Vlad Guerrero with 34 home runs right now. He's trying to go ahead and up the ante a little bit on that this weekend as well, too. But you got Rafael Devers, a guy that's being overlooked, but he's doing the damn thing this year as well, too. And Xander Bogaerts is having a good year as well. And Bo Bichette is another player that you have to watch this weekend. But this is going to wind up being one of the better series in the American League this weekend because the Red Sox really need to start winning some games, and the Blue Jays really need to start winning some games as well, too. If the Blue Jays are able to win 2 out of 3 here, they're going to make a nice little move into third place very, very soon. So you got to watch out for the Jays because they seem like they're going to make a big run here in the next 60 days. So we'll see how it goes, see how it shakes out. But that's going to be Boston and the Blue Jays tonight. Should be a good one at Skydome. All right, so we have the Giants at the Brewers. The Brewers coming in here minus 140, while the Giants are plus 125. This has risen over the last few hours or so. You have at some places you have a plus 145 going for the Giants tonight because we all know how good the Brewers are at home, but the Brewers did struggle a little bit this week. They did get a surprising loss from a comeback as well, too. So when you look at everything here, you got yourself a Giants team that leads the league in home runs right now, and this is a hitter's park as well, too. So that's something that you need to be kind of cautious of. But Corbin Burns is on the mound. He's been having a hell of a year, 152 strikeouts to over 20 walks. Last time out, he did give up 5 earned runs against the Braves, but he did strike out 6 as well, too. But he only went 4 innings in that game, giving up 9 hits, and that was one of his worst games of the season as well, too. But that was on the road. Now he's back at home, and he should pitch well because his last home start, he did go ahead and take care of his business. He took care of the White Sox. He struck out 6 over 6 innings, only gave up 4 hits, and only gave up 1 earned run. So there it is with that. I think that Corbin Burns is going to be ready for the moment tonight. And I think Logan Webb, with as many games as he played against the Dodgers over the last 2 weeks, he should be ready to roll in this one because, this is like a playoff game, a playoff situation. So, put down some notes and see what it can do for you. You know what I mean? So it is what it is at the end of the day. All right, we move on, and we have ourselves a matchup between the two teams that came in 1992, the Marlins and the Rockies. These guys came into the league together. I always like to preview games when they play each other because it's always a lot of fun when you see the Marlins and Rockies go at it. It's always a lot of fun. So, pretty much both teams are in the gutter, last place teams as usual. But you know what? Actually, the Rockies are in 4th place, and the Rockies have been playing better baseball as well, too. Their best pitchers on the mound and Marquez tonight. And then you got Alcantara on the mound for the Marlins. So a lot of people probably will look at this one and say, you know what, this is one and probably go under because you got better pitchers on the mound. But you know what? You got teams that got some starving bats, if you know what I mean. And it seems like the Rockies have kind of put back their mojo a little bit here at Coors Field. Now, you got the Marlins, who are coming off a very good week this week, beating the Mets 3 out of 4 this week to be exact. So they're feeling pretty good about themselves. They're just building and building and building. That's pretty much what you see with the Marlins. The Marlins are a top 10 pitching team as well. So that's something that you can go ahead and put into your notes as well. And then you do have the Rockies, though, who are the better hitting team here. But when it comes down to home runs, they're only a place apart from each other. Both are dreadfully bad, 27 and 28. So, at the end of the day, this one should be a really good game, but it will fly up under the radar. But I think that it will be a good casher for people that may follow along with my ticket. So it is what it is, and there it is. So there we go. And here goes my dog of the day. I do like the Rangers today. The Rangers have been the thorn in the A side all season. I know I'm going with Faulty Newitz, young Faulty, but I think that Faulty will be able to go ahead and get me some good innings tonight and get me a good win tonight, because he only gave up 2 runs in his last start against Seattle, and that was he went 5 in that game as well too. He only struck out 1, but he did a great job of taking care of his business. He's been much better since that shellacking he caught against Toronto back on the 18th of July. So he should be really good in this spot today, and I really do expect him to do some big things today. And I think that we wind up getting ourselves a nice little upset here in the biggity Bay. So there it is. That's going to be our MLB preview for Friday night. And once again, you guys are watching the Premier Sports Betting Show, the Primetime Angles Live, with the one and only Pop DiBiase, the Primetime Capper. And I'll be right back at you in a few moments.
Now you and your friends can compete in the sport of kings and win big with Stable Duel. Get the app, pick your horses, and get in on the thrill of horse racing with daily games competing against other players. Bring home the glory and the cash, and move up the annual leaderboard while you leave your competition in the dust. Get in the game with Stable Duel. Play, race, win.
Good News Only Racing Club, led by the legendary Doug O'Neill, the trainer of 2 Kentucky Derby winners and I'll Have Another and Nyquist. Also trained 2-time Breeders' Cup champ Golden Sense, who are just a part of a long list of thoroughbred champions trained by Doug O'Neill. The Good News Only Racing Club has a young core of horses to look out for in Dennis's Celery, Irish Heatwave, and Notre Dame, just to name a few. Win the day every day with the Good News Only Racing Club, a proud sponsor of the NFL Bet Exchange.
All right, we're back with the stretch drive of the show right now. So you know what y'all tuned in for. So let's go ahead and get into it. And let's go ahead and talk them tickets real quick. And all right, so up first we got the Phillies with the -1.5 today. I think that they're going to absolutely send a vicious message to the Mets today. Like, the Mets better be on their A game today. Ain't no playing around today. And the way that their bat's been acting lately, it's tough to take the Mets in this spot. You're going to have to take my money today, the boys from Queens. I'm telling you right now. So I'm taking a +175 on the Phillies to cover spread and win this game by 2 or more runs. Then we have the under 10 with the Rays and the Orioles today. I think that both pitchers are going to absolutely duel today, and I think that it's going to be a little bit of an off day for both teams when it comes to runs wise and everything like that. Even though this is risky business because the Orioles seem to be much more of a team that gives up a lot of runs at home than they do on the road. So we'll see how it goes, see how it shakes out. But, I think the Orioles pitching is getting tired of getting obliterated this week. The Yankees did a number on those guys this week. And then we have the Red Sox Moneyline tonight +125. I know a lot of people are going to be backing the Blue Jays, but the Red Sox seem to have their number a little bit this year as well, too. I do like the fact that we got Evaldi on the mound for this as well. So we're going to put the dog money behind the better pitcher, in my opinion. I know the Blue Jays pitcher is a very good prospect and everything like that, but he has been getting a little touch lately as well, too. And he took advantage of a weak hit in the Indians team as well, too, last time out. I think that this will be a game where the Red Sox will be patient and they'll figure out ways to get runs in this game. Now we got the over 8 with the Giants and Brewers today. I expect that one to be an absolute slugfest. This is a preview of a possible playoff matchup as well, too, in the NL. I think that this will wind up being one of the better games of the day. And then we have the Marlins at +1.5 on the spread tonight in Colorado. I think that they should be able to cover that part up for us. Lose the game by a run or so if they lose. But if they win, pretty good for us because that would be a nice little payout for the people who did rock with the Marlins. And it'd be a nice payout for us because you know what? We got the spread and we didn't have to worry about anything because we put the insurance on the game. All right. So we finish off and top it off with the dog of the day, the Rangers money line plus 230. And yes, that number is not a blur, it's not an error, it's not any of that. 127-1, and I wouldn't give you this ticket if I haven't hit for a number like that before, which I have. So pretty much 127-1 right there with the MLB PrimeTime PK6. This is going to wind up being a very, very, very fun day today, and hopefully, you know what, if we get this bad boy home, then you know what, we can go ahead and take the rest of the month off if you put the right amount of money on it. Because if you put $100 on it, you'll get back $12,700 on this bet. But I say, do this. Don't be that cocky. Put $25 on it, and you put that amount on there, you'll still wind up getting $25,400 off the deal. So you know what, 25 off the deal for this one. You know what I mean? So pretty much you will be able to get $2,500 and for $25.40 for this. So pretty much that's a good number right there for a $20 bet. So we'll see how it goes. We'll see how it shakes out. But that is the PrimeTime PK6 for Friday night. You guys be on the lookout tomorrow. I have the PrimeTime PK6 and the Dog Day PK4 for you as well too. I might throw the Super High Five in there if we do have enough games for you guys as well, so you guys don't miss out on anything when it comes to baseball, because I want to make sure that we got all the baseball games covered on the weekend. Okay, so with that, I want to thank you guys so much for tuning in once again. All week we are breaking records here for the PrimeTime Angles as well too on YouTube. So you guys keep subscribing, keep watching the show. We're doing pretty. Instagram almost at 10,000 followers as well too. So you guys make sure to keep the movement moving. We got big things on the way. I can't wait. We got NFL Bet Exchange coming up in the next few weeks. Jeff will be back Monday with us. Hopefully we'll have Gino Picola with us Tuesday, and also Mike should be back Wednesday as well with us too. So we'll have a nice full week, and then I'm trying to go ahead and book some big names, some names in boxing as well too. So we'll see how that part goes as well too. I'm trying to get the Rosales brothers in here, some really good boxers from Houston that had an opportunity at the Olympics as well too. They may be in next week as well too. So you guys just keep tuning in, keep following, keep sharing, keep doing whatever you got to do to keep this thing moving, because I ain't stopping. So pretty much you guys, thank you so much for supporting. There is no me without you. And so pretty much I try to work as hard as possible for you. Okay. So with that, if you got a hunch, bet a bunch. If always bet with your head, not with your heart. The movement is moving once again, and it's always moving. So make sure you don't miss out when the train comes to your town. All right. So it is what it is at the end of the day. This is the premier sports betting show, the PrimeTime Angles Live, with the one and only Pop DiBiase. And I am gone.
From the East and the West, you've heard others, but now you've tuned into the best. This is a Prime Wave Media production.